Pregame.com.
Friday night NBA action, Oklahoma City at Utah. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined by Steven Nover. We're taping this game on Wednesday, Steven. This is a Friday night game, so Oklahoma City's going to have another game before we play, so it makes it a little tougher to put up the number. But I'm going to put this number up, projecting Utah -2 in this game. Now, obviously, depending what happens Thursday night with Oklahoma City, if they have a rout or get blown out, it's going to adjust that line a bit. But this is Oklahoma City. They've had a busy week, scheduling-wise, and they will be playing the final game of a 5-game road trip. And 8 of their last 9 games have been on the road. Horrible spot for Oklahoma City, which earlier in the year was the beneficiary, I thought, of very good scheduling. They hadn't had to play back-to-backs and stuff. Now this week, that's all changing. They played a back-to-back Monday and Tuesday, where they played an overtime game at Portland on Monday. Then they come back and played a high-scoring game against Golden State on Tuesday, and then they come back and got to play Thursday and Friday. So this is going to be 4 games in 5 days for Oklahoma City come Friday night. Bad spot for them.
Yeah, I think you probably have the right projected line. I'd love to get Utah as a dog here. That would get me involved. But I have the Thunder playing the 5th game in 7 days in this game. And Utah has had the most home games of any team. Now they're starting to go on the road to even up their schedule. This will be Utah's only home game during a 6-game stretch. And what makes this one rough for Oklahoma City is not only the 5 games in 7 days scenario, but this is in high altitude. And Utah's been very good at home. They've been one of these good home, bad road type teams. I have Utah 10-4 against the spread at Salt Lake City, and I have Oklahoma City 2-4 against the spread in the second of back-to-back situations, and so it lays out there for Utah. But boy, if there's one team I don't like to go against this year, it's Oklahoma City.
Well, I mean, we're taping on Wednesday. The Tuesday night game was a perfect spot to go against Oklahoma City with Golden State. Even though Golden State is an ugly ball club, they were coming off playing a big game the night before in Portland, and then it went to overtime. And Oklahoma City was not, they were supposed to lose that game. They're down with like 20-some seconds left. They're losing the game. They end up taking the lead. Golden State goes back down, misses, fouls with 1 second left, puts 2 free throws on the board, ends up being a 3-point game, and they cover the 2.5. I mean, those are just ugly, ugly endings to ball games. When you're losing, if you're a Golden State backer yesterday, which I actually had Golden State on the Betting First Look show yesterday, you're supposed to cover in that spot.
I've had Golden State a few times this year. I've actually done well with them, but you got to be very careful with them. You usually have to look to them first at home, and they don't know how to close out games. They're very young. They're stupid, so you got to be careful.
They blew a 20-point lead at home this year to Memphis.
I had Memphis on that one.
Yeah, I had the other side on that one.
Yeah, we talked about that. Do we happen to have a lunch on that one?
No, we didn't, sir. Okay. Not on that one.
I remember writing that one off. That was actually a big play. I loved that game. And I'm like, oh, God. And then all of a sudden, they're coming back.
All right. Great pick, Steven. This game here, one thing I'm going to say about Utah, scheduling, strange scheduling spot for them. As you said, they're coming back home for one home game. They went out on the road, then they're coming back home for one road game, and then they're going back out on the road. What's weird is the schedule maker sent them east for 2 games. Normally when you send a West Coast team east, they have a string of games, while they're on the East Coast. They went to New York, then to Indiana on back-to-back nights, and now, come home. Now they've had a couple days rest before this game, so Utah's going to be well rested where Oklahoma City's not. I actually like 2 sides of this game. I like Utah to win the game. I also like the total, and I like the total more, and that's where we're going to go with this pick. this is a bad spot for Oklahoma City. As we said, this road trip's winding down. I think Oklahoma City's going to be gassed in the fourth quarter. And Oklahoma City is a team that, you know, if they lose their legs, they're not going to be scoring. And Utah's a team that can play either way. They can play a little faster, or they can play that hard-nosed defense, a slow-paced game. And I think the slow-paced game in the half-court set, where if fatigue comes into factor, you know, the first thing that goes on your shooting, if your legs aren't there, your jump shot's not going to be there. So I think it's going to create a lower scoring game. And based on what Oklahoma City's done the first two games of this week, they had that high-scoring overtime game in Portland, then followed that up when they played the defenseless Golden State Warriors, where both teams went up and down the floor. We're going to get line value on the total. I think it'll be an inflated over-under. I'm handicapping the game. I see 185 points or less being scored in this game. Total's going to come out way over that. I'm going to make the under in the Oklahoma City-Utah game my video best bet of the week. We nailed our best bet last week, so we're trying to keep the streak rolling along. You got any thoughts?
Well, can't disagree. It makes sense. Plus, Marco, these two teams turn around and play each other again on Tuesday. So they're not going to maybe want to show too much, knowing they got this rematch scheduled. If maybe one gets ahead, and the other teams, just may let them, especially in Oklahoma City's case, being the team with the fatigue factor. If Utah gets way ahead, they're not going to just give up their season to try to score a lot of points or make a lot of fouls. So that's all I think supportive of an under.
And the other thing that supports the under, which I didn't mention, I talked about the fatigue factor with the shooting, but also when a team is fatigued, these teams in these bad scheduling spots like Oklahoma City is going to be in, you use the bench more. So you go you go deeper on your card. Well, you know that the further you go down the bench, you're taking away scores. These are generally guys that are in to fill minutes in games. So they're not really putting up a lot of points, but the total is going to be based on what Oklahoma City. So again, another edge for value on the under, I think, in this ball game. So there you have it. Stephen, you got anything going this week you want to tell the viewers about?
Well, I've been really hot in the NBA. I've cooled off, though, the last couple of days, so I'm hoping to get my mojo back. And, we're getting into the college basketball season. There's a lot of data available now, and I've had some good feel on some conferences and some teams. So I'm looking for I have a history of good Februaries, and so I'm confident this will be a good month. For college basketball, this is the time of year, we've been running good, but this is the time I love in college basketball because, you're deep into conference play. We're going to start seeing the second meetings. Yeah. And I love the second meetings in college basketball. So we're going to go ahead. Let's wrap this up. Oklahoma City, Utah. That's my video best bet. Take it under the total. I'm projecting that my points scored in the game, 185. So as long as we get a total that comes out above that 185, we're great with the under. And as we do every week on my video best bets, we give you a coupon. You can use this coupon. It's good for $10. Just enter it in the shop. When you go to the shopping cart, there's a block there for coupon code. Enter Thunder10. That's the word Thunder and the number 10, and you'll get $10 off anything that you purchase, and that's good through Sunday. So check that out, and as we always say, if the package is only $10, you enter that coupon. It's free on RJ, but there's not too many free lunches from RJ, as we know. Or dinners.
He's Stephen Nover. I'm Marco D'Angelo. That's going to wrap up my videos this week. And Stephen, be sure to check in for the weekend segment. We're going to have Vegas Runner in, Scott Spreitzer, and Brian Leonard will be in taping videos on Thursday for the Saturday and Sunday games. So check that out. You can follow all of the videos at pregame.tv. Thanks for watching.